Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today with a quick update video here in regards to raids, especially the new chaos raids that we have been working through. And my goodness, I wanted to make a standalone video for this because it has been slightly confusing, guys. I don't know if you had a chance to go through it yet, but obviously with these new chaotic storm raids, they're replacing essentially everything going forward in terms of the green energy raids, right? Now, having said that, it's been very confusing because as my alliance members have been working through it, the lanes and whatnot, right? They did not, I feel like they did not do a great job explaining this when they had the blog post on it, but I wanted to walk you guys through it real quick so that way you can also understand the dynamics of it, as well as why we should be focused on it, right? And remember, this is the first opportunity now that these chaotic storm raids are in that we can actually earn towards the Gear Tier 20 resources, obviously part of Xavier and Age of X, to elevate those characters from 19 to 20. So depending on what you're doing, depending on which difficulty, you can see here, I'm just looking at the tier 1, 10% here for difficulty 5, but you can see when you do actually accomplish this now, depending on where you rank, you get actually these Armory 20 orb fragments, which are going to help you obviously with the Gear Tier 20 resources. That's why you want to be going for it. You're also going to be actually earning X coins along the way too, and this also can be utilized for purchasing Gear Tier 20 once again in the X coin store. So that's why you want to be doing as well as you can. But let me go through this real quickly, guys. I know we already had a chance to connect with my alliance and go through it, but it's been confusing in the sense that, remember that they did say that every lane's gonna have kind of their own boss node, and then where my alliance got tripped up was when we were going through it. It does get really confusing in terms of, you know, knowing which areas to consolidate for attacking, but more importantly as well, you kind of lose yourself in the lanes a bit. So I want to walk you guys through real quickly what happened here. So I'm focused on the left side, so just be mindful of that. Obviously, if there's some different sections, you may be on the right side, but let's just talk about real quickly the left side here. So when I started here, this is going to be for the tech section, right? So there's actually 3 nodes associated with the tech nodes, and then the next section afterwards is actually bio, and then after bio, I believe it's mystic, and then the current section that we're working through right now, which is skill, and then that actually leads into mutants, and that should actually wrap things up there with the very end final node here. As you can see, the bonus final boss. Sounds straightforward, right? You know, as we've seen with the Doom Raids, Incursion, and as well as Orcus, there's usually 5 sections and you work through it. But the only difference is that this is the first time where all the lanes are available to each and every player. And then where you want to be grouping up are some of the harder sections that we've worked through, right? So I will talk about that in briefly here, but I just want to explain kind of the concept of how you're progressing. So I started in this lane here, respectively, for tech. I did the first node here, as you can see. I did the second node here. Oh, sorry, was that the... Oh, that's the first mission. Okay, that's the first node. That's the second node. And then lastly, that is also the tech mystic boss. This is the first time where for the boss nodes, they actually add multiple traits, so you can actually bring in the next section's characters or the current ones, right? Now, I want to stop here real quick because this is where it's very important for your alliance members, and make sure you guys are communicating this with your alliance mates, is whether or not they want to be completing the boss node. Not every player has to finish the boss node. As you can see here, obviously my alliance did. That's okay because everyone's still confused about it. But to get deeper into progression, it actually makes more sense to finish only one of the boss nodes, and then everybody else can move forward, right? So not a great way to kind of illustrate this, as it can be very, very confusing. So when I finished off this tech mystic boss here, my alliance mates could have already gone forward into the next section, which is bio, and that's kind of what I did, right? I actually finished up here, and then I actually went into the middle lane where my alliance mates and I consolidated to do the bio sections together. The reason you want to be doing this is because I think right now the 2 hardest sections for chaotic storm raids is bio, and as well as the CO section, where we know the vigilantes are actually coming up as the next raid team, right? They're coming up actually as soon as next week. So that's why you want to consolidate, because that allows you to be pushed further, right? So that way your alliance mates don't have to be wasting and spending energy on a boss node such as these ones here where they didn't need to do it. But yeah, guys, so we finished the 3 nodes, and I could have just been the one lane alliance member to finish up the tech boss. Then we pivoted over to bio, right, and where we actually all consolidate our attacks. As you can see, everybody just stayed in the middle lane, and where it gets confusing is you can see how it can branch out to different nodes, but we all stick together in the bio, and we pushed all the way through here, as you can see now on the bio boss node, where we are able to finish up. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Once you finish up this second section of the boss, you can now pivot over back to your own individual lane. So that's what we did here. I went back into my own Mystic section, and then the same with my Alliance mates. They also split up as well. The reason we did this is because obviously if you are able to handle your own section, which in this case was first Tech and now Mystic, it allows us to do more nodes. More nodes completed equals higher percentage. Higher percentage completion equals a higher reward payout for whatever difficulty you're doing. That's why you want to be doing that, guys. It's, you know, already optional to do the boss node for each section, so I don't know if it makes a lot of sense for all the Alliance mates to do that, in my honest opinion. Especially you can use that limited energy to go further and deeper, obviously, into the raid, so that way your percentage overall completed is going to also be higher. So currently we're working through skill because we've consolidated now. We cleaned up the Mystic, and then we went back into the middle section here for skill. And I think they could have done a better way to visualize this, and that's probably why it's so confusing, is because it looks like you can go everywhere. And even when I attempted the middle section, you can see now my my avatar is actually to the left here, right? So it's just a weird way to visualize it, but that's kind of the process there. Know that you don't have to finish all the bosses for each lane. You can just do the one, and then your Alliance mates and you can move forward together. And I feel like that was not really explained well in the blog post when they were doing this, especially when they said that it was optional first, and then they pivoted back over and said that it's actually required. Now we're working through the skill section. As you can see, the first skill node there. Once this is done and completed, we can actually move on into the last and final section, which is mutants, where mutants, I believe we can actually pivot over and disperse once again, and then finally meet at the very end there. So that in a nutshell is kind of how the chaotic storm raids work, guys. Know that you can actually split up and combine, but remember, the key thing is making sure that the boss is completed. If the boss isn't completed, you can't really move forward into the next section, hence why it's important to coordinate with your Alliance. So hopefully this was helpful, guys, to coordinate if you guys are still missing that, but I wanted to make a standalone video because it has been quite confusing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any questions below. I'd love to answer it, but good luck in the raids as well. They've been fun, they've been difficult, and obviously it's great to see that obviously there's gonna be some new teams to combat some of the challenges in the current raids. So definitely exciting times for sure. Hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll be back with more updates. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.